Jagex is updating Woodcutting and Construction with an update next week known as the Woodcutters Grove. There's a lot to talk about, so whenever you're ready, grab your cup of tea, sit back, relax, and enjoy. The Woodcutters Grove update is going to be affecting woodcutting and construction, but let's start by actually talking about the area itself. The Woodcutters Grove will be located east of Fort Ferenfree and will be turned into a new non-wilderness area. To construct the Woodcutters Grove and upgrade it as if it were just another fort building, you'll need to have completed the Unwelcome Guest quest and built your guardhouse at tier 1, so you'll need level 50 construction. You'll then get started by talking to either Bill or Aster, and then I presume you'll go through some kind of mini quest, build another section of the wall, and then finally build the first tier of the Woodcutters Grove. Essentially what this area is a woodcutting training area that will increase the tier of tree as you physically increase the tier of the Grove building. Tier 1 will give you access to normal and oak trees. Tier 2 will give you access to willow, yew, and choking ivy. And Tier 3 will give you access to an elder tree. And no, in case you're wondering, there is no mention of a magic tree in the news post or the live stream. Now you might be wondering, why would Jagex add dead content that isn't part of the current woodcutting leveling meta to this brand new area such as yew and elder trees? Well, that's where the woodcutting changes or rework comes in. Every single core tree from wood to elder will be rebalanced as part of this update. The base log trees will be smoothed out so that every 10 levels you'll have access to a brand new tier of tree. For example, acacia trees will be going from level 47 to level 50 woodcutting. Mahogany logs will be going from level 50 to 60. Yews will be going from level 60 to 70 and so on. Other than the requirements, the experience rate of woodcutting will also be completely rebalanced as to increase the experience floor of core log trees that were previously dead content. The news post shares a fairly detailed overview of these changes, including chop speed and XP per cut changes. Notable examples are magic trees, which will have their chop rate increase significantly in addition to a 46% experience per cut improvement. Elder logs also see a chop rate increase and enjoy a 31% experience buff per cut. Crystal and golden bamboo see some changes, including a change to follow whatever regular formula means, probably something like the standard chop speed. Crystal trees get their experience per cut reduced by about 20%, but still could be an overall XP increase, as indicated by this graph showing the updated XP rates for a player at level 99 woodcutting. The main point of this bar chart is to illustrate the difference between the before update and after update XP rates, and it's clear as day that the current useless trees are going to be improved the most. So maple, yew, magic, and elder trees will be seeing a significant experience per hour buff. And it seems that Jagex wants to make you pick your trees more so on resources than on experience, which is also why they're adding new construction resources, which we'll be covering in just a minute. But first, let's talk a little bit more about the Woodcutters Grove. The Woodcutters Grove gives you access to higher tier trees as you upgrade the cabin and has its very own left-click quick bank known as the log deposit. At tier 1, you also gain the ability to have bird's nests sent straight to your backpack, which are the only way of obtaining brand new woodcutting spirits. Yes, woodcutting stone spirits, so wood spirits, are coming to Runescape. These woody boys function the same way as mining stone spirits, so provide you with an extra log instead of an ore without providing you extra experience for it. So it's safe to assume these will only be used for money making. By getting the tier 1 cabin, you also have the ability to store these spirits in a brand new log box that functions and is upgraded just like the mining ore box. The log box is able to hold a maximum of 260 of each log, wood spirit, and those new bird nests. However, before you can add those bird nests to your log box, also known as the wood box, you're going to need to have the tier 2 cabin constructed. Other tier 2 benefits include bird nests found while woodcutting automatically being stored in the log box, and you getting access to both a fairy ring and a brand new farming tree patch inside the Woodcutters Grove. And finally, the tier 3 cabin will give you improved bird's nest rewards and the ability to obtain the brand new tier 80 imcando hatchet pieces, of which there are 4, from these bird's nests. These can be used to create a brand new imcando hatchet, which will require 4 pieces and a dragon hatchet. This hatchet will be the best augmentable hatchet in the game at tier 80 until Jagex eventually adds a tier 90 hatchet, which they do seem to have plans for based on their wording in the post. I'm going to go ahead and assume that this hatchet will require both the crystal and imcando hatchet to create once they do eventually add it. And in case you're wondering, you are not able to use existing bird's nests to get these imcando pieces as confirmed by the mods. It's also worth noting that hatchets will be rebalanced and readjusted requirement-wise to the respective levels. So dragon will be tier 60 and crystal will be tier 70. As part of next Monday's update, Jagex is also adding 5 new tiers of plank as new construction materials, being maple, acacia, yew, magic, and elder planks. As it stands, these planks will only be usable in Fort Free construction, as otherwise the mods mentioned that the scope of the project would have been far too large. So you're not able to use these planks in either the player-owned house or in construction contracts. Perhaps they'll be adding this in the future. What this means is that you should absolutely be upgrading your fort right now because it's going to be getting a lot more expensive. A portion of the buildings in Fort Free will be adjusted to be using these new materials, so maple, acacia, yew, magic, and elder planks, which are used to create refined planks, which are then used to create new frames, and that will be making certain buildings far more expensive. For example, the tier 3 town hall requires 60 magic frames, which is the equivalent of 720 magic planks, as every frame is 12 planks. The tier 3 command center requires 80 elder frames, which is the equivalent of 960 elder planks or 960 elder logs, which is a lot of money. Please bear in mind that the update will make it far easier to collect elder logs, but that's still going to be very expensive. Now, what Jagex has done to offset this high cost for these buildings is increase the experience by a mega amount. For example, the tier 3 town hall right now gives you 26,880 experience. After Monday's update, it will give you 208,000 experience, which is nearly 8 times as high. This means that with the tier 3 workshop for that 15% experience buff, at the lowest you would be getting nearly 1.5 million construction experience per hour after the update, completely AFKing and ignoring your perfect build percentage. If you were to actually focus on that perfect build percentage, you could be getting over 30% more experience per hour, which is insane. Now, this is assuming they don't change the amount of progress you gain per tick when constructing buildings inside the fort, because if they do, the experience rate might be a little bit lower. In case of the command center, we're going from around 37,000 experience to 331,000 experience, which is nearly 9 times as high, and you would be gaining, at the lowest, 2.1 million construction experience per hour if you have that 15% buff from the tier 3 workshop. Add around 30% more experience for that perfect build percentage on top of that at 100%, and you'd be getting over 2.7 million construction experience per hour. Absolutely nutty. It sounds a little bit too powerful, but then at the same time it's also very expensive to do this method, so we'll have to wait and see if these are the actual rates. Overall, the area looks beautiful, and it's exciting to see not only woodcutting getting some love, but also part of construction being changed. Let me know what you think of this update down in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.